My name's Lucy. You just heard me asking questions. My colleague Helenor is here, and we both work in the law clinic. So just to and thank you very much. The two previous talks, we um, in the I always find it so interesting that seeing what everyone does in medical schools, because you do so much client work, and we don't do a lot of client work in law. But we do in the law clinic. So the law clinic is a legal practice based in the law department. We work with undergraduate students. We have qualified lawyers working with real clients, and the students assist us researching the law, writing letters, attending client interviews. Um, and it gives them a real sort of depth of knowledge and understanding about how the law works in practice. And we also do quite a bit of reflecting. So it's really interesting to see as well about your experiences, and the students find it hard. Um, and One of the really big things in the law clinic is that it's all we do a lot of group work. So the students work in small teams of six, and most of them are on the module. So that it's a third year module. They're in small groups of six, and they work with a supervising solicitor. And our experience has always been very much about the sense of place for the clinic. Because of client confidentiality issues, the students had to come into the bespoke clinic rooms to do their work on university computers. So no one can read over their shoulders, no one can overhear their conversations, and all of their data is secure on clinic computers. We also have a beautifully designed space for the students in our new building, which we haven't used for very long before we had to leave it and go virtual, which really helped as well with developing that real sense of community amongst the students. So you can see we've got this big computer lab with these lovely collaborative desks, so they can work with the computer screens up, the computer screens down, share their work at the end, and all the desks are in these sort of pods of six. We also have meeting rooms that the students can book, so they can have their own team meetings, or they can have their tutorial meetings with their tutors, and we have client meetings. So we have 7 of these sort of meeting rooms that can be used, and also a social space on the clinic floor. So there's very much a sense of space and community in the clinic. So when we went online, once we'd worked out the issues around data protection and giving students access remotely to client work, we then were really concerned about how we were going to build that sense of collaborative work and group working. We've always put quite a bit of support into the students as well around group work. We know they need that. You can't just put them in a group and say, get on with it. We've done workshops on group work. We've given them reading on group work. They reflect on it as they go through the module. So over to Helena on how we managed and what we did about trying to develop the groups when we went online.
Yeah, so our big challenge was how to move this physical collaborative space online. And in the summer 2020, we ran a trial project with students using Microsoft Teams. And by the end of that summer, we were confident that we could move the clinic advice model online. But the students that worked with us had worked together before, and so they were aware. They knew how to work together, and they had actually met. So our challenge was going to be with our new students, how we were going to help them work collaboratively. So we absolutely embraced Microsoft Teams, and I think we should probably ask for some sponsorship because we used the online meeting facility, we used the chat function, we used the SharePoint for students to be able to collaborate on preparing documents together, and we used the conversation thread to try and get to know each other a little bit, but also to provide information and reading and keep in touch. And students were put into a Microsoft team in week 1. And we produced an online lecture about teamwork, and groups were tasked with drafting a team contract. Which was to be submitted before they met with their tutor. And the idea was to give the students a reason for getting together. Um, they were to meet and pull this document together. We also hoped that it might be referred to as the semester went on. It was suggested that they look at, well, what will you do if you have a dispute? How will you resolve that? And I'm not sure how much that actually was used. I think really reflecting back, it was a good document to set because it got them together. It got them used to meeting without their tutor. And as the semester went on, they were expected to meet weekly with their tutor and also weekly without their tutor. So it certainly got them right in the beginning used to that. And it wasn't a massively interesting piece of work, drafting a contract, although these are law students, so maybe not as boring as it might be for others. But also, we have to remember when we were chatting about this yesterday, we were all completely and utterly fatigued by Zoom quizzes. So at least a contract was probably something that they hadn't done socially. So throughout the semester, the students were expected to meet weekly, as I said, and they were drafting and redrafting using SharePoint. And really, they did embrace the group work. One of the issues, though, which is something that we will need to think probably a lot on all online working, is although it gave students flexibility on when to work, because before they had to work in the clinic, so we knew what hours they were working. I think one of the cons was it didn't help with work-life balance for students, and that's something that I think we all tried to address in our tutorials. Over to you, Lucy.
So we we surveyed the students specifically about the group work, and we have 130 twice. So we have about 260 students over the academic year do the module, and only 20 of them answered the survey. They were fatigued. We were all fatigued at the end of the year. So in terms of sort of the numbers and the information that we've got out of the survey, it's quite limited. But one of the things that was really interesting, I thought, really what I wanted from the survey was some comments and some. So we asked them quite a lot of questions, like, did you find the group work easier? So we asked them, were they worried about doing group work online? Had it been easier than they thought it would be? And could they give reasons for their answers? And what I've just done is pulled out some of their quotes, because I thought it was, they said some really thoughtful things. So one of them, the student said, I really enjoyed the team meetings without the supervisor. And they don't want to have team meetings without the supervisor at the start of the year, but they get there. And in fact, my groups as well, I really encourage them, as well as having their main team meeting, to work in pairs and threes when they're drafting. And because they had to do it all on the team, we could see the meetings, and I could see 3 students had been sitting in a meeting for 2 hours often, and I knew they wouldn't have been talking all that time, but it meant they had the meeting open while they were drafting together. So, that worked really well, and wasn't possibly quite the same as being in the room together when they were working, but it gave them that sense of, collaboration. So this student says, although meeting in person would be easier, I never felt we weren't able to work as a group on Teams. Although Teams made the clinic function easier, it would have been nicer to do it in person. So we've got that regret. It would have been nice to be in person, but actually it was okay online. It was meetings, and then some of them definitely thought online was easier. Meeting as a group online is easier to schedule than in person. And we also had quite strict rules about not having meetings when they're out on a walk. Or they had to be in a room on their own. They had to wear headphones, so they couldn't be overheard. Various things. They have to sign a contract. I was concerned about being part of a group online. However, it had many benefits, and there was no difficult planning a time. It was quick and easy to meet on Teams. So I think Helen and I said yesterday, our conclusion was it wasn't as bad as we thought it would be, but I think actually it was better than that. I think the second term was harder, and I think that was because the students were just shattered. They came in, they hadn't, they'd hardly finished their assessments, and we hit the ground running quite hard in the beginning of semesters. So, in conclusion, Helenor, do you want to?
Yeah, so we've tried to look back in reflective practice way as to what went well in the semester, and really then planning for the next semester. Is there anything from 2020 to 21 academic year that we want to bring into the next one? And actually, there are some bits of Microsoft Teams that we'll probably continue to use. It was good for feedback and support hours, for students to be able to make appointments to see us. I think we were even more hands-on than we normally are in the clinic. I think the SharePoint, being able for them to do their documents collaboratively, is something that we will probably take on board going into the future. And also, I really like the conversation thread for each of my groups, to be able to just do a summary, bullet points of what we discussed in our session together, what I was expecting them to look at. I think that's something that I would like to continue. But I am very much looking forward to getting back to the physical space.
Yeah, I think as well, the thing I liked with the conversation thread is that often you get the same question 6 times from students, and you could put it in the thread, because then you only have to answer it once. And everybody knows that sort of form of discussion thread within the, I think if we didn't have to deal with confidential information, I would be totally like a Teams fanatic. But I think we need them in the building because it's easier to manage the other. But yes, I think they need the support in place, but you can do it remotely, would be our so. Any questions?
Thanks very much for that, guys. We're straight in with a question from Jonathan that's come into the chat. Could you look at doing smaller pulse surveys at intervals throughout the year to help improve the response rate with the collection of student feedback?
Yes, we could. And I mean, we have done that at other points in time. I mean, this survey particularly, I did it at the end of the year because yes, we'd be it's timing is everything.
Sure. So. And Matt has followed up with, do you have any problems with students using the technology required to be involved?
I think in semester 1, I think students getting used to Canvas, and then we were introducing Teams immediately. They struggled a little bit. By semester 2, I think there was less of that. There was the fatigue that Lucy talked about, but I think they'd got used to Canvas, they'd got used to Teams. And I think for us, we very much promoted Teams as an employability point as well, because we knew that courts, local solicitors practices, barristers' chambers were using Teams. So we were able to say, look, it's worth the effort to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think the other problem was broadband access for some students. And Teams as well takes up a lot of memory on laptops. But what I discovered, partly through my own laptop breaking, and this really helped with the students, is you don't have to have download the app. You can just use it on your browser.
Yeah.
And that just was a game changer for me. When my laptop broke and I was using a very old MacBook that like anything. So once I got that, and so I could say to the students, you can just open it on your browser, because it was slowing that. It was really slowing the laptops down, and some of them just had problems. We had to have cameras off.
Sure.
Because we have small groups, we tended to be cameras on, to make sure that the students were participating, and we could check they were in a room on their own, they had their headphones in, all those things. But often then we had to go cameras off with some of the students because their broadband just couldn't take it.
Right.
So.
Okay, guys, we've got time for one more quick question. Denise, do you want to ask something?
Yeah, to be honest, my experience of Teams has been like yours. It's been an absolute godsend. My worry is this year they've put everybody back on campus, and my question is, how are you going to keep Teams going? Because I'm trying to figure that out, and it's a real dilemma, because the whole focus is now everybody's got to be back on campus, but I actually found the students had more depth of understanding of how you work as a team using Teams than they ever got when they just got together and informally decided that's how they're going to operate. So it was just, what do you think next year is going to look like for you, and how will Teams fit in that? Because I'm desperate to bring it back in, but it's almost like the system's now fighting against that because they're throwing us out of it.
What do you think, Helenor?
I think it is going to be difficult. I think because of the confidentiality things that we have to battle with, doing this sort of hybrid is going to be quite difficult. And yeah, there are some really good bits of teams that I think would help working collaboratively. And we need to have some discussions about how we're going to make that work in clinic, how we're going to ensure that they don't do client work outside clinic, but can still communicate on Teams.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to drafting the student contract on that really.
I think that, I mean, if we didn't have our issues around confidentiality and therefore have to make decisions about whether we're going to make the rule, they've absolutely got to be in the building, or they can work from home if they follow all the rules that we followed this year about being in a room on their own. I mean, but I think all of the things that we did this year actually to get them going on Teams and to get the group working, I will still want to be doing. So I will be going on to Teams, you know, and I did things like I coincidentally just at the start of term, I found a photo of me and my sister on my very first day at school when I was 5. And I put that up and said, you know, this is me on my very first day at school. I feel a bit like this now as we're heading into this online learning and it's the new academic year and I've got to meet all these new students every year. I never know how it's going to be. How are you all feeling? Who feels anxious? Who feels brave? Who feels, you know, and so it was doing things like that to get them on that thread. And then I put the second term, I put little GIFs up of, you know, me looking, you know, being, are you scared? Are you excited? You know, how are we feeling about the new term? So that just started it moving. And then as Helenor said, you know, after tutorials, we'd often put up a little bullet point summary saying, just to recap what we've agreed today, you know, going on next week. So I think it's the same as group work like you said, sometimes group work in person, they drift off. And I think it's this, whether it's you want them to meet in person or meet online, I think it's about us putting the work into, there's a reason why you're doing the group work, and these are ways for you to communicate, and these are ideas about how you can, I think it's all of that building and putting that in at the beginning, if that answers so I think it's setting up the structure so they can see how to use it.
It does. You're probably similar to me, but as they go into the workplace, they have to learn all of those confidentiality. People are now working from home.
Yeah.
So as a university, it's for us to teach them the skills of what does that look like, how does that operate, and I think we're losing something if we don't use Teams going forward.
Yeah.
And in the workplace, to be honest, they'd be stunned if they can't go into the workplace and use Teams, because it's 70% of the workplace communication.
Yeah, well, certainly in the legal profession it is. Even the courts use it. So